Hello and welcome back to the Chats with Cats podcast, The Wedding Era. I'm your host, Catherine Michelle, and a fellow bride-to-be, a 2026 bride. This is our year. You guys, I have a lot to update you on, but that's probably the very last time you're ever going to hear me say that intro. And this podcast is going to go on a little hiatus because I got a letter this week saying that I was infringing on copyright with my name. And I need to come up with a new name, a new brand, a new everything, which is really frustrating. I basically got a cease and desist letter, which in my opinion, means I'm doing something right. You know what I mean? People are noticing, people are watching, people are listening. But it does mean that I need to rebrand and come up with a new name for the podcast and do all of that. And that's so not where I wanted to pour my energy into, but that's okay. We're going to figure it out, but there's probably going to be a little bit of a break because of that. Aside from getting my cease and desist letter, which is kind of iconic, G and I have done so much in terms of wedding planning this week, not for our South of France wedding, but for our civil wedding. So because we're getting married in France, we have to legally get married in London, which is where we live. And because we're both foreigners, we have to give notice at least 70 days before our civil wedding, which is coming up. So at the end of this month, at the end of January, we are going to go give our formal notice that we're going to intend to get married. And then of course it needs to get approved, but we also have officially secured our date for our civil marriage, which is going to be in May at Marylebone Town Hall. And I'm so excited. Our families are going to fly in. The only room that was available pretty much for the entire month of May was a nighttime slot. Our ceremony is going to be at 7:30 at night. And it was a room that could only fit 8 people. So fabulous. It's just going to be our family. It's going to be perfect. And then we'll all go out to dinner afterwards. And I'm so excited. And I'm just really excited to have check that off the list because that's the real legal component of it. That's how we are legally married, legally man and wife. And it was the thing that we hadn't quite figured out yet, the missing piece of the puzzle, but we have sorted it out. And so that's really an exciting thing that we've checked off of our list, and that is all sorted. I also think I mentioned this on a previous episode, but I'm actually going to be customizing my wedding dress, and I just received 11 or 12 lace samples to choose from, which is so exciting. I've been trying them on and looking at them, not trying them on, but holding up the swatches. And customizing my wedding dress has been a really fun adventure to go on. It was not what I ever intended to do, but I think it's going to turn out spectacular. And I love that it's going to be unique in mine and just fabulous. Anyways, it's a short intro today, you guys. I am just a little overwhelmed with work and with figuring out what to do with my podcast name and all of that. So I don't really have too much else to say. Tomorrow, G and I go skiing. It's his birthday. We go to France to go ski with his family every year. It's our 3rd year in a row doing that. And I'm going to just try to take a little bit of a social media break. I'm not skiing this year because of the incision on my leg. It's not fully healed yet, and I don't want to injure myself or reopen my stitches. So it's going to be absolute torture to be at the ski station and not be allowed to ski. But I think it's for the better for me to just take it a little easier this year and come back better than ever next year. This week's episode is so special to my heart. I have on my incredible friends, Chris and Charlie, and they're going to tell us all about how they fell in love, their 10-year relationship, and their really, really beautiful and intimate wedding that they had in London last October that I was so lucky to be a part of. So I really hope you enjoy this episode. I love you guys. I won't be gone forever. We will come back stronger and with a better name. And just thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you guys enjoy this episode. Bye. All right, today's guests are so special to me. Chris and Charlie are 2 people I met many years ago at Soho House, and they haven't been able to get rid of me since. I've had the honor of celebrating birthdays and holidays with them, and just last year I had the pleasure of watching them get married in London. I'm so excited to welcome to the podcast Chris and Charlie. So, for anyone that's meeting you for the first time, can you give a brief introduction to who you guys are?
Absolutely. So we met, Soho House at a random comedy night.
Yeah.
What was probably your first week in London, and
Yep.
5 years ago. So
Yep.
lived in London for the last 8 years. We both have.
Yeah.
Met in Cheltenham.
Yeah.
A while ago.
Went travelling for a bit, came back to our cushy life in Cheltenham and thought, what are we doing? Let's just shake it up a bit. And what was supposed to be a year of our life has now turned into 8 years in London. And
10 years together.
Yeah, 10 years together.
Oh my goodness. 10 years? I didn't realize it's been that long. Well, how did you guys meet?
We actually we sort of met, started talking, went for our first few drinks, and I got you up on the dance floor with a group of old women. And from that night,
Very on brand.
yeah, very on brand. We started to mean to go on. But, yeah, we met at uni, and then 10 years. It's gone so quickly, and lots of adventures. And we sort of can't believe 2 years ago, or a year ago, just over, we got married, and here we are.
Oh my God. Do you remember that first day, Charlie? That dance floor moment?
Yeah, it was kind of that surreal moment of like started with like that handshake of like trying to like, who's gonna like have the like heaviest handshake straight into the kind of dance floor. And I think since then it's been more Chris's routine.
It definitely was who is the strongest handshake.
Right.
Well, yeah.
Assert yourself. How would you guys describe your relationship in 3 words?
That's such a good question. Yeah, balanced, fun,
driven.
Spontaneous.
I feel like we were always thinking, oh, what can we do next?
Yeah.
Charlie's very driven, so I think we're always forward thinking. 3 words: love.
That should be in there.
Happiness. Stable. I think with 10 years, with lots of friends, and friendships change, lives have changed, moved houses a few times, but it feels like it's always been us.
Yeah,
throughout the whole of life. Yeah. So.
Is one of you the planner and one of you the go with the flow, or do you guys mix up the roles that way?
I'm type B.
And I'm as type A as they come.
So Charlie's the list, the planning, the driver. I am Max. It'll be fine, and bring the fun. So that's why we work, I think, because I need someone to. When we first started dating, my good friends of ours, one did a reading at a wedding, said, God, he's really brought the best side of you.
Yeah.
I was a bit of a firework before, but Charlie's really anchored my sort of grounding and
the craze.
Yeah, it's just the best parts of us, I suppose.
I think that's me and Gia as well. Like, I think I was the firecracker, like just always just kind of a psycho, and then Guillaume really mellowed me out in a really good way.
Calm it down.
Totally. When you rewind like 4 or 5 years where we were versus where we are now, it's wild, the shift.
Yeah, you guys have really seen my arc from single girl to almost married.
Planning a wedding.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. So what were your first impressions of each other?
I was more unsure, I think. I knew we had a good time, but Charlie I found really hard to read at the beginning. Very sort of outward facing, colder, I think.
Yeah.
But I remember feeling really drawn.
Yeah.
There was something there. And I remember you went on the lads' weekend to London.
Yeah.
Sort of weeks in where we were messaging a lot. And I remember thinking then, if he does anything, I'm done.
Yeah, it's over.
If he does anything. And it turns out you just sat at the bar making friends. I remember feeling intrigued, but I'm not sure. And then over time, he's mushed really. So.
I think for me, it was, to be honest, it was quite lucky that we ended up going for the drink, because that night I was at home with my housemate at the time, Joe, and I was like, I really can't be asked to go out. I don't want to leave. And like, she was like, no, go on. Like, this could be like your person. And I was like, oh, okay. And then here we are later on. It's kind of, said person. But I think initially it was like intrigue. I think I'm a slow burn. Chris is very very out
asked for your deepest secrets, and the first time we met.
Second time we met, he was like, "Oh, so should I come to yours?" I was like, "Oh, okay. This is how this is going to work." So yeah.
At what point did you think that, okay, we're dating, we're going for drinks, whatever, that, okay, this could be actually something, we're going to date seriously and this is real?
Well, I think we were
pretty much straight away.
I think from day dot, it felt like, okay, we're in. We were in, and our closest friends knew that we were open to guys as well.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't with our families. It wasn't with our wider group of sort of acquaintances. So I think for a year, maybe we were sort of dating together, but without being very open about it. So it's quite a long time. Then we both told our parents together, which was such a huge life moment. And our families.
You guys did that together? I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it was all part of the same journey. It was kind of like, oh shit, we found somebody, like, we need to kind of make this real then. Which was all quite.
And if we didn't take that brave jump, I think we just needed to get out of the routine of, okay, it's nice and cushy in our own little bubble, it's safe, no one knows. but actually family's a big part of both of our lives. And
Yeah.
you told your parents, then I was like, okay, it's my turn. And then my parents lived in Portugal at the time, and I wrote them a letter actually and said, I've met someone, his name is Charlie. And then again, from the beginning, they've all been so wonderful.
All family reactions were so warm and like accepting and loving, so you couldn't ask for more.
Yeah.
I've had the pleasure of meeting both of your families at your wedding, and they are so lovely and so warm, and they're just phenomenal people.
We're lucky actually on the wedding they shared an Airbnb together, so
Yes,
with both our parents have had nice experiences throughout our relationship as well, which means a lot. So
I think that's it. It kind of it's brought both of our, getting married. It's brought both of our families together. We're not just people that succumbed to live together, got married. It's like actually it's two families that are now kind of joined, which is really nice.
Do you have any tips for me or wisdom, because our families haven't met yet, and they're going to meet. Actually, my mom is going to come to France next month and meet his family, but our families really aren't going to meet me until the wedding. Like, do you have any advice for how to merge the two worlds?
I think it's time, but making the events happen. Like I think with leading up to our wedding, we've had many birthdays, your birthday in Cornwall, various events where our friends had mostly all met and our family had met. Like we've done a few pub lunches.
Yeah.
But it was just short, sweet for a day. It wasn't, I suppose when you live abroad, it's a bit more intense.
Harder, but
Right.
Because
like the time is precious. Like my mom's not here all the time. She's not in France all the time. So, but I think what we're doing is that she's going to come to France in the beginning of February, and we're just going to have one dinner. Like we're not going to stay at a house with them for a week or anything. Like we're just going to have dinner.
That's what we did.
Yeah, I think that's it. Like, take the pressure off yourselves that, it needs to happen day one. Like it will happen over time. It will become normal. And as you make experiences and events between you all, they'll grow to kind of, be closer as well, which will be amazing to witness.
I think just that icebreaker will be enough for on the day. It's a familiar face and it's a welcome. And how are you? Have you been since?
Yeah.
Rather than getting to know each other on the first.
Oh my God, I'm so nervous talking about it. My hands just started sweating.
But also, I think if when you're dating somebody or with somebody about to get married, or like even for you and Guy, like you've fallen in love with like the people that you are, and like your families are such a reflection of that. So if, they will love each other, I'm sure.
We'll see how it goes. So you guys were dating for a long time before you got married. At what point did you guys start having?
I think it's when I had my surgery. I think
about marriage.
No, about marriage or getting together officially.
Marriage.
Oh, marriage. Sorry, I thought you said.
We can start with the official. At what point? Because actually, your surgery is really interesting. If you don't mind talking about it, I'm happy to talk about it.
Well, I think it was I had some surgery when our parents didn't know about us together. So my dad was caring for me for a couple months, and the day before it was so there was so much time in between. We made it official, but just privately, and then there's a few complications. And Charlie recognised my dad outside a fish and chip shop on the phone to my mum, saying, "Oh, he's in high intensity care," and but not being able to ask, but knowing.
Like so kind of stood like 10 meters away from like James, just being like, "What the hell?"
That's Chris's dad, I know.
Like it's terrifying. Like I'm not gonna know. I'm like down the ranks. Nobody even knows I exist at this point. So like just kind of like hit the pub with a few mates then and was just like, fuck, what's going on?
Yeah. And like you've just gotten news that your boyfriend's in the intensive care unit and you can't reach him because he's not on his phone, and you're just eavesdropping over his dad.
Yeah. So I think that was the sort of let's really bring everything together. But marriage was after your uni friend's wedding, Sam and Nance, I'd say.
Yeah. I think we always knew that this is like long term and we want to kind of do the marriage thing and go down that route. But I think we started going to kind of weddings, and then we went to two of our close friends, Sam and Ad's wedding in Worcester. We were like, it was just such a wonderful weekend. We had so much fun. But then I think on top of everything, we were on the train home, and this is the bit of the wedding that everybody's like, I don't want to do, I'm going to shy away from. We literally sketched out our whole table plan and all of our guests. And we were like, hypothetically, who would cut? And that's how we kind of got to that. And then the conversations just started kind of rolling, and we were like, oh, maybe we should just get married. And it was honestly so incidental, the most expensive incidental mistake you'll ever make. But a really nice kind of just very us way of doing
I
it.
think it was like a few months after the conversation just kept snowballing, and the shared list was there, and someone would come to mind, and we just kept editing the floor plan of
Yeah.
who would sit next to that person. So we never got engaged. We never did the what you did was just
Right.
like movie worthy.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
think on the sofa one night, and we're just talking about it again. I looked over, it's like, should we just do it? Should we just get married? And you're like, yeah.
Let's just do it.
Let's just do it.
Yeah.
Like all of our other decisions that we've made have just been just conversations that just kept
Yeah.
happening. And then it's got to a point where
Yeah.
we've thought, let's just do it.
Let's just jump and see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
exactly.
groundwork had already been planned, so it wasn't too much to do.
Yeah. Because I remember when you guys invited me to your wedding, we were out to dinner with, it was us two or us three, and then our friend Millie. And it was around Christmas time. It might have been like the first week in January, and you handed us cards, and you're like, it's our Christmas cards. And I could tell they were heavy. I was like, no one has a Christmas card this heavy.
That's a fucking great Christmas card.
The best Christmas card I've ever gotten. And then I opened it, but you hadn't announced an engagement or anything, and it was your wedding invitations, and we freaked out, and the wedding was like 10 months later.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
We didn't do save the dates.
Yeah.
We just thought, why? Like we booked the venue, which we actually went for a day out with our friend Aileen, and we had to sort of try and get rid of her.
Yeah.
To move to be able to watch a venue, but she kept trying to come with us.
We were like, no way, you need to like.
You can't come with us. So we booked the venue. It was all done at that point. We had a guest list. If you can make it, mean the world to us. If you can't, it's done.
Yeah.
The announcement was you're invited. Be there, sort of.
I think also for us, it kind of happened that way because there wasn't an engagement. Like nobody knew that this was happening.
Yeah.
So we had like a couple of months to be like, well, how are we going to announce it? And the decision was there. It was like, well, let's just tell everybody we're getting married. They've got a choice to come or a choice to not. Like, and and then when we were saying about when we'll do it, like obviously our parents were on board and they were aware of what was going on.
Right.
We asked for the parents' permission.
Yeah.
Almost. We sort of decided we were doing it, and then
like, oh,
we should do the traditional thing. And I phoned your parents, you phoned my parents, and
oh, stop!
Which was quite sweet. It was really sweet.
It's so cute.
It's like a nice little moment. But yeah, and then we kind of gave everybody over Christmas at different points we were seeing them, like whether it was family, closer to Christmas, and like you guys around New Year, like being able to kind of have that moment of like just pausing and everybody being in complete shock, but complete like excitement of the year ahead. Because as you say, it was only 10 months later.
Yeah. I feel like it really added a level of excitement to your wedding because it's not like we saw it on Instagram that you guys were engaged or something like that. And then it's not like you guys had an engagement party. It was just like, let's just party and celebrate love. And that was so nice. And actually that was the way that you guys did it was a big reason why I didn't really want to have an engagement party. Because I was like, let's just save all the fun and excitement for one night versus spreading it across a year or something.
Exactly. Yeah. I think also there's so many weddings where you've got really long engagements and, to keep momentum for like 2 years would be
exhausting.
Like it's so exhausting process.
Exhausting.
So actually to like do it in short and sweet and do it as quite an intense burst was fun, but it also kept momentum, which was great.
And I think we had an idea of what we wanted. So I think initially, if you asked me what my dream wedding would be, before getting married to John, it would be
very different.
It would be, what our friends had really that sparked the conversation on the train. It would be in outdoors, a big sort of teepee gazebo, the brass band and the hog roast. Yeah. It would be really sort of country-esque. And my sister got married in a vineyard in Portugal. So she sort of ticked the box of the olive trees and the outside. And then we thought, what can we afford? What do we want? What represents us? And we thought, our life is London. We love London. I was quite set on black tie, because the assumption was I wear suits to everyone else's wedding. I want like you put the wedding dress on. I wanted to feel a bit smarter and
something special.
The ordinary,
100%.
Which is then we lent into this idea of this sort of more wintry, dark evening London skate wedding, and so giving the invites at Christmas was gave us enough time to get everyone ready and organised.
Yeah. No, it was so fabulous. You guys looked incredible, and I do want to get to your suits. But before we get there, your venue. So how did you choose your venue? Did you see multiple venues? What was that process like?
Yeah, we saw a few. We were kind of just doing like that market research, like at the beginning where you're like, oh my God, let's have this kind of wedding. And then all of a sudden you're speaking to the Ned and they're like, it's a 60 grand minimum spend.
Yeah.
But I'm only 60K. So it's like, so quite quickly we kind of got on that kind of process of being like, okay, what's realistic? And
We
like,
knew we wanted it
what
small
do we
as well.
want? Yeah.
So the venue.
How many people were at your wedding?
Just under 60 on the day, I think.
Yeah, mid-50s, I think.
Mid-50s, yeah.
And
I
how
think
many people did you invite?
55,
about 60.
60 something.
Yeah.
Everyone
Most
Everyone
people
came.
came.
Yeah.
The other one people who couldn't were for really reasons that are out of control. So
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I think the venues we kind of started looking. We were like, we want something that feels like kind of very like if we're doing it in London, it needs to feel like a London wedding.
yeah,
We were like, we need it to be in like a really cool location or have an amazing view of the city. And so that's where we kind of started scouting out. And like we looked at a few from like, private rooms at like the Ivy and bits, which because again, they have some amazing views, or even their original kind of members club. But then we kind of found the Swan at the Shakespeare's Globe.
I think we did 3 venues, and the Ivy, such a beautiful venue. It was overlooking Tower of London, Tower Bridge. It would have been incredible, but the room was so long and narrow.
Yeah, it was impressive.
So we're like, how would you do speeches? Where would I look to? How would people dance? How would they mingle? Do we really want a table being taken out mid-evening?
Right.
So that was kind of sad because I think we loved the visual of the room.
Yeah,
and the view was just London. Then we looked at another one which was a really cool space, but not the view. And then the first venue we saw was the Swan at the Globe Theatre, and it's when we sort of came back to again. And
yeah, you were quite convinced, and it took me a little bit of convincing, but I think we kept going back to it. It seemed to tick all the boxes. It like
above a pub.
We
all love a pub.
We love a pub.
Love a pub.
It was, attached to the Globe, the theatre and the menu. The menus there are really, and the restaurant are phenomenal. And then also we have this balcony which looked out over the whole city.
It was incredible. I'm going to put photos.
Paul's Cathedral. It was it was London.
It's iconic. It was iconic.
Yeah.
And to add extra iconic to already iconic, you guys got married at Marylebone Town Hall, and then we jumped on those classic, iconic London double-decker buses that took us from Town Hall.
We got a black cab to the Town Hall.
Yeah.
Just to add to the feel. So even think of your transport. Yeah. But yeah, we took ourselves off to the pub, just us two as well. Just have a pint together before the day started. Yeah. And
so sweet.
It's nice to have that. It's nice to have like a little moment before the day just to be like, what are we going into? Because there's so many like feelings and like so much happening and so much to take in, but actually just to take stock a little bit before it all happens was really lovely.
Right.
Yeah.
How did you guys organize the bus transfer? Was that something Town Hall did, or you guys did privately?
We did it privately. I think it's one of those, like, again, getting married in London, there's like a hit list, isn't there? Like a checklist that you kind of want to do. So for us, it was, black cab, that'll get us there. Town Hall was like, so London, and it's a beautiful spot anyway.
We're getting married there in May.
Yeah, exactly, which will be fantastic. And then
they were so good. They were such an easy venue to work with. And it's what they do. So it's just clockwork. So you go in, they show you where you are, you come out, and the bus is waiting for you.
You wanted to get the tube. Chris wanted everybody to get the tube from one location to the other.
It was an idea.
It kind of didn't work out because of the guests, and like you want everybody to be together, and so we kind of ended up with the double-decker bus, which was brilliant because it took such a like beautiful scenic view through London, and like across the Thames and to the venue, and it allowed everybody to kind of have drinks, get to chat. Like it was a really like fun part of the day. It was like transport, but it became an experience. It was great.
It was such an experience. We were all so happy. We were drinking champagne, we were singing, we were dancing. I feel like it was almost a highlight for me. I loved that moment.
Yeah, we had our playlist made. So, or maybe talk about playlists later, but the music was a big part of that. And but we even paid extra for the blind at the front of the bus. So it's like Minard and Beeson. All those little touches, which that we've now kept that sign, which one day framed for our home. But it was the highlight. It was great. It was amazing.
One of the best bits was like one of our friends said to us afterwards, "It feels like we're in like a Richard Curtis movie," and I was like, "Sick, checklist done." Like I'm
nailed it.
Yeah,
yeah.
Great.
So let's talk about your Town Hall wedding. you guys got married in the big room at town hall. The only room available for us was the 8-person room at 7:30 on a Saturday night. So we're having like a nighttime ceremony with just our family, which will be lovely. But how did you guys plan that? Because it was a big enough room that all the guests could come, but you guys did entrance songs, exit songs. Can you talk me through that? Like what songs you chose?
Yeah.
Yes, Charlie's brother is a DJ.
He's a DJ. He kind of works in music.
Mixer. So he was our fall guy. So we wanted a sense of ourselves in there because it wasn't, we couldn't decorate the venue. The flowers were there. Flowers are beautiful. So we chose songs that were really meaningful to us for our story, whether it was linked to a memory with a group of people or a festival we went to with someone, or the first song we said I love you too. So we found piano versions of those songs, and then Charlie's brother mixed them all together. So it was just playing. So if you heard it, maybe there's a few songs that you cottoned on to.
Yeah.
And then we wanted your parents and my parents to walk down the aisle before us, just to give them a little sort of moment and sort of open them. It's a very short runway in that room. So it added a bit of theatre to it as well.
Yeah.
We had Simply the Best, Tina Turner playing with the piano.
It's kind of been one of those songs that's always just been part of our journey. Like whether it's, I don't know, come up in different moments of like, being out with your mum, or we've been, I don't know, just
the first time we said I love you to each other, we were camping in our garden in Cheltenham, and we were talking, and Tina Turner, What's Love Got to It was playing, and then he said, "Oh, I do though, I do love you." So I love you too. So Tina Turner's always been a little theme, so it only felt right to walk down. So Tina Turner.
That's so sweet. And then you had some people give readings at the wedding.
Yes.
Yeah,
the readings were great. And actually finding them was amazing, because there's so many, and there's so many of different kind of levels, whether it's kind of obviously religion based or whatnot. But we were like, again, like what's right for us, like put our personalities into it. And so we had two of our friends, close friends, doing readings. One of my friends from way back when we grew up together as kids, she kind of did a first reading, which set the tone for the day and for being present, being in the room and in that moment, which was lovely. And then your friend Sophie did a reading, which we found, which was completely by coincidence. But it was, when you first read it, I was like, that's us. Every little part of it is us. It's kind of weirdly chaotic, but fun, but like loving and endearing.
We were in hysterics. I love poetry. So I was finding stuff. So it was a real joy. The first poem was His to Right Now, which it wasn't sort of based on gender or people. It was just everyone in the room is where we need to be, which we loved about it. The second one was called Falling in Love is Like Owning a Dog. And if you change dog to Charlie or Chris, it was
perfect.
And my friend Sophie is a primary school teacher, just so good at reading, and she had the comedy timing to do that so well.
She went full primary school teacher mode.
She did, hand on the hip.
No, it was so sweet, and I just sat there sobbing because I'm such a crier. How did you guys feel like before you walked into the room? Were you nervous? Because I'm really nervous to walk down the aisle. Like, how were your nerves that day?
I thought we would be. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to like already be there or like be in the room. I didn't really want to miss out on that, and I didn't want all eyes on us like walking down an aisle. It felt, I don't know, it felt a little bit stuffy to me. But then I think what we did to like our parents walking us down as well, like walking down first in front of us was great because it was kind of broke the ice. They took the kind of like attention firstly. Before that, we were kind of coming up to the room in the lift, and like your buttonhole actually fell out, and so the big kind of flower in his buttonhole just rolled across the floor, and we were like, oh, it's very on brand. It's
the funny thing was we decided to stay together the night before, so we woke up together, we got ready together. So leading up to that moment, we were together, which isn't the traditional wedding. Right. And then when we got our buttonholes, we laughed because it was a lovely little beautiful flower. Then there was some like fireworky, messy grass bits. So that's perfect. You're the little tidy flower, and I'm the crazy bit at the back, and fitting. And then Charlie knocked me in the lift, and the perfect flower fell off mine. So it was just the craziness.
It was great.
I was like, well, I'll keep it. So we went in giggling, and you tripped over the sandbag.
I tripped in, which again broke the ice massively. Like,
Yeah.
If I advise you to do anything, Kat, trip.
I'm so nervous.
And I didn't feel nervous. I felt everyone in that room, we wanted to be there,
Yeah.
100%. And
Yeah.
they knew us, and yeah, I felt
I think
fine.
so. I think walking in and seeing all of the faces and like seeing you and everybody else there, it was like
Yeah.
it's just comfortable. It's like home, isn't it? It's like all of your friends and close people. So all of a sudden, any nervousness was kind of like lifted.
We didn't do it. We didn't do a rehearsal. Part one,
Right.
where the Tina Turner song, there's the piano. It's quite a long intro. I thought, Chai's parents, go. We did one rehearsal the night before. It was giggling. And you go, and you go. We go now, then the chorus comes on. And I've always said I want my life to be like a movie, so this was the moment. But standing there, sometimes the song feels longer when you're waiting for it. I was like,
So
oh God, it's taking ages. I was like, and you go. So I remember that waiting, thinking, oh gosh, this song's taking forever now. But I think it worked.
And also for you at the end, you're going to have Guy. So you're going to be walking down
Yeah.
to Guy, which will be lovely as well. So as soon as
Yeah.
you're friend, it'll be like, it's fine. This is all.
Honestly, it's the only part of the entire day that gives me so much anxiety. Just that I just need to get over the ceremony. Did you guys do personal vows? I can't remember.
No, we didn't.
No.
We didn't at all.
We chose the romantic script. So
Yeah.
when you
Yes,
start,
I saw that. I read that this week on their website. I was like, I'll do that.
so choose a script. So we went for
Choose
the romantic
wisely.
one.
Yeah.
And I wrote some words down, which ended up being in my poem to Charlie, which we'll go on to later. But lots of what I said came into my speech and what we wrote privately to each other later in the day.
Oh, right, that's true, because you guys didn't do you just didn't do personal vows at the ceremony, but you both did give speeches at the reception.
Well, Chris, yeah, you gave the speech, but we had the kind of poems, which obviously kind of we did one to each other, which we didn't know, which was kind of our personal vow.
Yeah, so we wrote a little message to each other.
So let's jump ahead to the ceremony, or to the reception. I apologize. At the reception, you guys did something that I've never seen at any other wedding, which was that at each table you had kind of like a table game of the figure out who. How do we explain the table game?
It was just
Icebreakers.
Icebreakers, yeah.
But it was really brilliant because I didn't know many people at your wedding, so having that icebreaker game was really great for me, at least.
Yeah, I think it was that. It kind of, because some tables they were like a little bit of a mix. Again, we thought since day one we were like, these are the people that are going to get on really well.
Yeah.
Like, let's put those together, or people that know a couple people. But those that didn't, we were like, how do we spark conversation of like mutual interests? So we kind of put these like little prompts of like, you know, who did this, or who went there, or, you know, guess the person. So it kind of opened up conversation quite naturally. And some of them were great because we kind of like completely over egged it. So people were like, you've done me the dirty. Or like, you know, some of it was really on brand. So it was great.
Or it was linking, if we knew a few people that maybe hadn't met that had loads of common interests, we'd link it to something like a marathon run or something, which then and they'd open back their experiences. The other thing we had was the disposable cameras.
Yes.
It was always something we wanted to do, but we had sort of photo challenges of can you take a photo of a candidate of someone crying, or a group table, or the groom's mum crying, or can you find all the Chris's, or all the cats, or
I think I took a photo with one of your moms.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So lots
on the back,
trying to find people in the room with the same name, and because it was a smaller room,
it was manageable. Yeah.
Photos afterwards were great. So disposable cameras, photo challenges, the prompts, and
having the best prompt I saw, at least from my table, was someone had made out with a famous musician, and we were all like, oh, who was it? And like that was really exciting to like have that icebreaker. I think mine was someone at this table has designed a Barbie, and I was like, that's like, that was so exciting. So I loved those icebreaker games. And then another thing that you guys did at your wedding that was super unique was that you guys had like a sketch artist.
Yeah, I can forgot actually. I
found her on TikTok.
Yeah.
Did you?
So bizarre. We have a ritual where over a confused I'd save some TikToks and then I'd just give you the best summary of what's going on in the world. And found this artist called Lily Kong. So talented, and she'd done work for like Hermes and other amazing events. I showed you, and you had such the same reaction, and so we just reached out and we thought, oh, why not? And she was like, of course, this will be the first wedding I've done, and she was more sort of fun with the illustrative style. It wasn't twee. I think sometimes you see traditional weddings and it's very kind of cartoon based or clean lines.
No,
This
yours were
was
like artistic.
crayon, mixed media.
Yeah.
It's great. I think it was a really nice way of putting a bit more of us into the wedding as well. Like, we both love art. I'm in creative industries. Like, it was a real way for us to put that into it and kind of give back. And also, it was a really nice thing for people to take away at the end.
Yeah, it was so nice. I think you guys sent me mine with your thank you note, and it was so nice, and it's hanging up in my closet. Like, I love it.
I'm so glad we did that.
Yeah.
And if you can add something that's like interesting to people, and also for that reception, it was a really nice way of filling the room out. People going to that corner of the room to mix people up. So it was a nice thing to happen to fill the time. We didn't have we had a band as well.
Yeah.
So they did a small set at the beginning. So I think as soon as we went in, the room was being used for like the max amount of time. We made the most of it. It was great.
We had so much fun. Okay, so dancing. How did you guys come up with the playlist? Had you been working on a playlist for a while of the songs that you knew you wanted to be played? How did that work?
We had. I think we wanted the day to feel like a party. We wanted it to feel like a celebration. We wanted it to be fun. We wanted people up and about and like having the best time. And so I think music is obviously the best vehicle for that, and a free bar. But but I think the music was, we both had like kind of a long list of songs. We were like, how are we going to get 16 hours worth of music into this evening? Like, how is that going to happen? So we did quite a lot of culling, but I think you were the mastermind behind that, really.
We had piano for the ceremony. The bus was like old disco soul music.
Yeah.
And then the reception, which went through till dinner as well, was sort of nostalgic classics from Paris Hilton, Love is Blind, to Enrique Iglesias, to Fender. Just songs from childhood and now, and then the evening was sort of a party, songs that always get us up dancing. But when we spoke to the band, they had, I think for us, it's not micromanaging. Charlie's very organised, so we gave the venue like a whole booklet of this is what the tables will look like, this is what this will look like, which is easy for them. And it's the same with the songs. We had all these songs, but when you speak to the band, they've got their own song list. So that, okay, which actually is nice to have the surprise.
Yeah.
And even with the last song of the evening, we'd always said about Simply the Best, Tina Turner. But then the band said to us, which we'd never considered, was, but do you want that to be your last song or your last song? And
right.
Or do you want us to do like one more song afterwards? Because everyone wants an encore. So we had our big moment of, Simply the Best. I think I'm crying on your shoulder on the dance floor. So but then they surprised us with a song, so for us, it was like the party was going on, and our friend Des sang a song for us, which was a surprise.
Which was great fun.
So sweet. There was the funniest thing that happened at your wedding, which is that when I attended your wedding, I was wearing a dress that was very low plunging, like almost down to my belly button, low plunging. And so I had taped up my entire chest, like really, really taped it up. But what happened when I taped it up is that I could no longer feel if the dress fell off because my skin couldn't feel the shoulder of my dress fall off. And so I was in the bathroom. I think I was washing my hands or something because it was a non-gendered bathroom.
Yeah.
And one of your dads walked in and my dress had fallen off, but I hadn't noticed it, but I was completely taped up, and the look of fear on his face, he was like, because it looked like I looked like I was a mummy. Like, I looked insane. I think I have a photo of me with the tape. It's so funny. And I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, it was like throwing my dress back over my shoulders.
Probably saw most people's boobs that night because it seems to happen to everybody in that bathroom.
There's a few stories like that, but again, I've had a good time and
had the best time. It was only out of like excitement.
Yeah. Yes, we had a free bar, one toilet. Again, you're working with the space you had, but there wasn't many people, like 55, 60 people. And also going back to the cards on the table, we went for circle tables. There's banquet tables are popular, but I think that really helped our friends and the people there to mingle and chat and dance around as well.
It felt really intimate. It felt like we were at someone's house having a dinner party with friends that just like, felt like almost like not a house party but it just felt really intimate. and like a family that all of a sudden we just started dancing afterwards. It was really, really nice.
That's what we said we wanted. We wanted to try and like recreate like some of our favorite evenings are like dinners at home with friends.
Yeah.
You know, they always turn a little bit raucous, but that's part of the fun. And we wanted that kind of that feeling of that dinner for the wedding. And I think that's also, you know, praise to some of the kind of events and like bits we did in the year to like try in the run up to get people mingling, get people to meet,
Yeah.
allow people to kind of like turn up to the wedding and all of a sudden there's connections or like they're looking forward to seeing each other, which helped to like loosen the tires of the day a little bit.
And after the wedding, a group of people came back to our flat for a house party. It was exactly what we wanted to be, and we ended up hoovering and mopping at 5 a.m. Exactly, but that's what we love to do. It just felt like having friends over for dinner.
Yeah, it was a great way.
No, it was perfect. So what are your must-play songs for a wedding? What do I need to have on my playlist? Simply the Best, obviously.
Yeah, that went down well.
I feel like it's not a party without Love at First Sight, Kylie Minogue.
Yeah, that's and the last song, which was the surprise for everybody, which really people went wild for, was Pink Pony Club, and it did go down well. It was like just come out, everybody was on it, and it was a fantastic moment.
I think we got it just before it became so big, so it feels great. But think of songs that memories or nostalgia, have fun. And are you doing a live band at yours? Are you thinking of?
You'll have to find out. You'll have to show up to find out. Honestly, I say that because I have no idea. Like, we don't know.
It's gonna be a surprise for you as well.
Yeah, I don't know.
Except the music, whether it's live or a DJ, it creates the party. I think towards the end, because we're a little bit delayed with all the crying after speeches. The band were great, and we had a singer and a DJ, and she ended up singing to the end of the night, which wasn't the original plan.
It was so nice, though.
It really changed the energy of the room.
Yeah, it was good.
But that almost shows how great the party was and the vibes, because she didn't have to stay and sing the rest of the night. She wanted to. She was enjoying herself. The vibes were good in the room. She was happy to keep singing and enjoying.
Exactly. It was brilliant. I think it's just getting also a balance of your guests. It's not just what you want, it's what your guests are going to listen to. Because if there and like is having a really great time, the vibe is going to be tenfold, like so much better. And so it's like balancing sentiment with something that you want to and you enjoy, but also like if your audience is, you know, mostly like parents' generation, then you probably need to tilt the music a little bit more their way. But it was our wedding was very young.
Did we allow song requests? I can't remember.
I don't know.
I can't remember that one. Consider if you're letting people do song requests.
No, I'm sorry.
So so I think that was a conversation we had.
That comes from a whole Taipei mentality.
No. But I will be adding Simply the Best to our playlist, and when that comes on the dance floor, I'm going to look to you two and be like, let's go.
We'll be there.
What was your favorite moment from the day?
Oh my gosh.
Favorite moment from the day?
I think it was the poems. Well, in a general sense, I think we spent a year working on that. And when that moment of it was there and people really felt it, I think.
Yeah, let's take a second because people might not understand. So all of the place cards were so personal poems to each of your guests that were incredible and had the entire room crying.
Yeah. So we tried to. So we said about family at the beginning. A lot of the songs were like maybe our grandparents' favorite song on the bus or whatever, or throughout the day. My grandma used to send me poems in the post and snippets from newspapers, and it was a big part of my life. And then as you had the idea of saying, well, maybe we could sort of have a little honour that by we could write something to guests. So just quite early on. And then we spent a year write again, bullet point everything. If you're doing a speech, whatever, bullet point everything that comes together.
So much writing.
So it was a long time, and summer was a long one.
Yeah, you went back to Portugal for a couple of weeks, and Chris really did like smash out a lot. But like we'd obviously spent like the year of it mostly kind of getting all the notes together, getting kind of little bits of what we want to include in these poems and what we really want to say to people and what we want to tell people. We're like, you know, these are really like poems from like our hearts to like our favorite people in the world. So it was that opportunity to really like celebrate them and celebrate what they mean to us as well. And it's ensuring like what was so hard is trying to get 60 poems to sound like each and every character without just telling everybody you really love them. Like we had
Yeah,
to try and make it so centric to them, which
yeah,
was really hard, but it was really fun because like we'd spend
really fun.
evenings sat here.
If we'd have a little tear or something,
We're like, it's
we
good.
this on the right path, and we seem to focus better when we lay on our stomachs.
Yeah.
So we're very lucky of having many evenings
Yeah.
laying on our carpet. But the poems are a big part of us. I think at the end of my speech, I said I want everyone in this room to feel the love that we feel for them and for each other. And when I gave my speech before the dinner, everyone opened up their envelope and had that moment, and it was really emotional
Yeah.
and yeah, I felt the love in that moment, and I
Oh, it
don't think
was so
I've
emotional.
read in my life, maybe.
Yeah. I think it was
I
something
still
that,
have mine. It's in my bedside table. It's like still in the little envelope. I have it. I love it.
yeah, it was lovely. I think that was just a moment that everybody could really like, yeah, it made an intimate wedding even more intimate and even more
Mhm.
emotional. And that was really, really lovely to see. Really sweet.
Yeah,
I tried to talk to Guy about doing something like that, but it's hard because we're about a third of our guest list French. So like I haven't even met many people that are going to be at the wedding, and they don't even speak English. So like that goes across the board with music. Like we're going to obviously have a lot of French music as well as like English music, but writing, like when I sent out the invitations to you guys, when we were making our invitations, it was like, do we have to make a second website in French? How do we do this? Like it's been a little complicated to figure out. And then it was like the invitations, of course, are coming from both of us, but
Yeah.
I haven't even met you. So like, hi, I'm gonna marry your nephew or whatever it is. It's been a little tricky to figure out, but it'll be fine.
wedding favor. Well, I suppose that was like our wedding favor, if you like.
Yeah.
Spill out the art. But I think whatever you do, you don't have to do it. There's a lot of pressure to
Yeah.
get something. I mean, you're getting the meal. Like we're gonna be having a great time regardless at your wedding. So don't put too much pressure on. You have to do something.
Yeah.
If you do, like we went to a friend's wedding and it was an orchard of like damson gin, and they made their own damson gin from the orchard. We were
Wow.
able, so everyone had a little glass bottle, and it was again took a bit of time for them, but it was so simple. But it
Yeah.
was, oh, that's nice. I'll take that with me. So whatever you do, either you don't have to throw money at it for the sake of it.
Yeah.
If it if it lends itself to it, go for it, but don't put the pressure on.
And I
doing
think like,
a favor.
like wasn't it tradition like the party favor was like some sugar coated almonds or something?
Oh yes,
I think that was like a really traditional party favor like
Yeah.
I
way
like
back.
that. All right.
And like, it's kind of just it's like it's just a thank you because, but I think if you can like do something that does feel even if it's
Personal.
not necessarily personal to your guest, but personal to you, so it's like
Yeah.
a little bit of you. I think it's a really lovely like way to bring a touch of yourself to it.
Is there anything from that day that you regret or would have done differently?
timings.
Timings, I think, is the only
Yeah.
thing we would have adjusted. I think we would have probably done everything like an hour earlier and maybe finished an hour later, just because things weren't necessarily like we came across traffic on the bus, which we didn't notice in the morning, but then we realized we were like 45 minutes late to the venue, so everything's kind of pushed back. I mean, it was also our savior because it meant everybody went like kind of the party stopped when everybody was on a real high rather than like kind of crossing that kind of like barrier.
There
of,
was
like,
no dull moment.
yeah,
I think that's a big part of the feel of it. It was sort of shorter, a great time, and then it was over. It burned so bright for it, but having that extra time,
real
I'd
short, sweet.
also argue, I don't know if you agree, is I've always wanted my life to be like a movie. I
Yeah.
wish I had someone film the day, just so I can watch it. But we've got so many amazing photos. The photographer was great.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
actually, the photos are enough. But maybe I don't know. Maybe a film. We had no phones at our wedding, so there aren't too many videos and things. But
I'm quite happy. I mean, I'm glad in the end because I was like, if we're not doing any video, like, let's not record the speeches. Let's leave it. You really pushed. You were like, no, we should record the speeches, and I'm really glad we did actually, like because they're really back on. But yeah, I think that would be one little regret actually as well is definitely getting a videographer for the day. It's you're doing it one time, and it is really fun to look back at like a short reel of what it was and that feeling. It was cool.
Yeah. Or you see like like an VHS like camera and someone filming it. It could be something really fun like a home video, something just to record a few moments.
That is the biggest regret that I've heard the most from the people that I've been interviewing, is the people that didn't have a videographer. They're all saying, I really wish that I had just done that little extra splurge and had that moment.
I think it would be so special to kind of like look back on like a wider video of the day, but you can kind of have these shortcuts. And like, I know people now that are even doing and actually specializing in like kind of content creation for weddings and like on the day content creators. And it's become such a thing. And it is, you know, we're so used to kind of moving content that actually it's weird all of a sudden when we've not got it. Like, it's really strange.
Yeah. And when you're finding that person to do it, we with the photographer, we spoke to a couple of photographers, and one, all great their craft, but we just didn't vibe with someone as a person. We thought, oh, I'm not sure I can imagine you being at our wedding. Whereas when we met our photographer that we went for, we got along so well. It was so easy. So I can imagine you just being at the table with our friends. So see who's out. Instagram's a great way of like finding that people who do wedding films and photographers, and get to know them as well.
What questions did you ask your photographers when you were interviewing them?
Question.
I think a lot of it was kind of practicality. You know, what can you deliver, when, etc.
Also having the awkward conversations about food. Are we feeding you? Which it's rude not to. So just checking with them that you're both on the same page, that we will provide you a meal.
Understanding the expectations.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
and all of the photographers we spoke to had kind of slightly nuanced packages. Like some would, you know, do, I don't know, like 10 family portraits, and some would do 12. And you'd be like, what about 13? But like, you know, it was kind of like a case of like, okay, let's just work together. And especially with Josh, like when we were working with him, it was very much like, what do you want? Like, design the day. And he did it in such a way that, you know, everything was possible. And like, he really kind of tried to accommodate like the kind of style of shots we wanted. And like, we really went for him because of his like editorial style. And he just really had such a beautiful kind of almost film-like quality to his kind of capture.
We spent a bit more on our photographer.
That's
because we splurged on the photographer, and we thought it was amazing, his art, and with that London wedding and the black tie and the night cityscape, we thought it lent itself really nicely to that, and no regrets.
Yeah, worth the splurge, worth every penny.
And also, you've got to spend so long with the photographer on the day. They are following you around pretty much, and so you want to have somebody that you can also have a laugh with, which really did make it easier.
He put our buttonholes on for us because we couldn't figure it out. So
so much to thank.
And you forget they're there after a while. You sort of, they blend in, and it doesn't feel so much pressure as it does at the beginning.
What's one thing that's absolutely not worth me stressing over, or anybody that's planning a wedding?
The finer details, in the sense of the things that go wrong add the charm. And it makes it exciting. If something's a little bit delayed or whatever, just don't stress about any of that, because no one's thinking about it. Everyone's having a good time. What about you?
I think honestly, like, it's just a case of every moment, like, you've just got to enjoy it. Like, it's obviously going to throw so many obstacles planning a wedding, and so many hurdles that you wouldn't have even expected to be having conversations about. But actually, it's always just that kind of like thing of, we're doing this together. It's going to be really great. It's, you know, and I don't know. I think it throws stresses, but I think it's really important to kind of just ground and just be like, actually, there's no reason to be stressed about this. It's going to be the best.
Maybe it's worth talking about guest lists as well, because you feel like you're hurting people, letting people down. If you invite one person, you have to invite their entire family.
Totally.
So it's both be on the same page and be confident in your choice, and people are happy for you regardless. There's some people who couldn't make it to our wedding, but they were still so happy for us. And blame it on the venue or something. Just be like, this is all we can do. And so don't stress about that too much, because I know it is an emotional part of the planning.
I think that's a really good point.
It's so stressful, because amongst like our families, we were like, okay, we're going to cap it at 100 invites. And we actually ended up, and if my mom listens to this, she'll find out for the first time, we actually ended up inviting 107. And we're hoping to land around 80, but every single person has RSVP'd yes. So Mom, if you're listening, I'm really sorry, but we invited 107.
That's right. There's going to be like a small table on the side. Like, we can sit on that.
Sorry. No. It'll be all fine. It's just like, making guest lists is hard. It just is.
And you are so worried about hurting people because you want everybody to be there in the real world, but like
Yeah.
reality sometimes hits. And we also wanted it to be a smaller wedding. We wanted a more intimate wedding, and so with that, we did have to kind of make the decision that sadly some people won't be able to be there. But
yeah, our parents weren't too. They just let us do what we wanted to do, so we didn't have that sort of top pressure. Do what you and Guy want to do, whether it's
100%.
The invites are out. It's too late.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
can't invite one more person. If you don't have an invite, you're not getting one. I'm sorry. The invite list is closed. So, quick final thoughts. What does marriage feel like now that the wedding dust has settled?
We've been together 10 years, so it feels the same. I think it's just a lot of love, and they say it's the best day of your life, and it really comes close to it. There's everyone you love in one room, and the love for each other. Life is the same. Life resumes. You still do the cooking, the cleaning, but it's always like a smile, a real proud moment that we've done that.
I think so. And like the memories you make are fantastic. You know, what you've got to kind of keep back from it are brilliant. But yeah, I think the day to day does kind of resume, and like, you know, beyond kind of getting away, having like, we went for kind of a break afterwards to Paris, and then we obviously had our honeymoon, and those are kind of moments that you really get to kind of be back in that bubble. But beyond that, it's kind of just, like, I think normal life resumes, but it's one of those really great days that you can kind of carry with you.
We did a honeymoon a year later.
Yeah.
So it just spread out that joy a bit more as well, which
nice.
Is worth thinking about when you want to go back into that.
I can't even imagine planning a honeymoon right now. Like, let's just get through July right now. I feel overwhelmed.
How people like get married and go on honeymoon the next day or the day after baffles me. You're so exhausted after the wedding. Like the last thing, like we were in Paris, we're trying to like, you know, see things, go to places. Like you gave us so many great recommendations as well. And like we were like, Kat said we need to go here. We were like, we will, but I just want to go to bed.
Yeah, we just want to like.
Yeah, led in bed at like 7 p.m. in Paris, like just in the room. Like you were watching the speeches like on repeat. And we were just resting because it's exhausting.
Yeah, and it was nice that wedding period. We had a meal the day before, and the day after, everyone who could came for a walk along the Thames. So spreading it out over a weekend, it just you get to talk to people a bit more. But yeah, life quickly goes back to normal, and but no regrets. It is the best day of your life.
I'm so excited. You guys had such a special wedding, and I'm so excited that you guys are going to be present at mine. But do you have any final thoughts on love and partnership and choosing each other every day? Because 10 years is a long time. I mean, Guy and I are 3 years in, so like we got a long road ahead of us. Yeah. Forever's a long time. Any advice?
Genuinely, just laugh. Like, just have fun. Like, you know, life is stressful enough. Like the day to day can be hard enough. Like, just make sure you're having fun. And that's, you know, like every day, like, you know, we go to bed and like that kind of is probably one of the highlights. You know, we sit there, we laugh, we chat. Chris shows me like his kind of curated list of TikToks, and it's just
I do the same.
And it's fantastic.
It's also you got to give each other enough time to do your own things and grow as well, because we're very different to what we were when we were 21, 20, 30, 31. So it's like you do your tennis, have your interests, allow your partner to do that, and always come back together. That makes a strong relationship, I think.
Well, I love you guys. Thanks for coming on the podcast and sharing your story. I think it's going to be something that a lot of people are going to love to hear, and you guys are the best, and I adore you.
Honestly, thank you for having us. We cannot wait. Well, we'll see you very soon, but we can't wait for your wedding as well.
Can't wait.
Okay, I love you. Thank you.
Lots of love. See you later.